Sometimes things happen which are so bizarre it's almost incredible. Pete Hegseth, who was the Secretary of State for War for the United States, has decided that what's lacking with the military is testosterone. In fact, what he's decided is that anybody over 30 should have a test, and if they're lacking, then they should have a boost. Now, he's the Secretary of State for War, and you might want to ask, what concept of war is he working with? Now, obviously, this man is very strange. He's covered in tattoos. He's got a view of the world which could be described as medieval. In fact, he has authorised the blockade of Cuba, which is a straightforward war crime. On top of that, some weeks ago, he issued an order to say that the military on the battlefield should know no quarter. Now, no quarter is a very, very straightforward concept in military terms. What it means is that when a wounded soldier is captured, you do not take him prisoner, you kill him. Now, quite clearly, this is a war crime as well. So, Pete Hegseth seems to have some sort of view that the Americans are weak-willed because they are constrained by trivialities like the concept of war crime. He doesn't want the American forces to worry about those things. He wants them to get on and win. But what sort of war does he think he's talking about? When we look at the current wars, the one in Iran, that is more or less devoid of human contact. It's missiles and it's drones and it's bombing. There aren't armies of men charging across a battlefield and slaughtering people. In the Ukraine, there are men who are fighting one another, but mostly it isn't. In fact, recently when we've seen the Ukrainians are bombing Moscow and St. Petersburg, Pete Hegseth is a throwback. Pete Hegseth has got such a strange concept of war that he really does believe that people fight and that therefore they need to be strong and they need to be full of testosterone. The man is mad. He has no idea whatsoever of what the implications of what he's saying is. Apart from this, of course, that he thinks that a war crime is perfectly acceptable when the Americans do it.